So tonight's shmuz is dedicated to a young man in our koil, Rabbi Avram Noach Ben Yehudis, who was severely injured in Friday's terror attack in Yerushalayim. In that attack, he lost two children, Asher Menachem, a 7-year-old, and Yaakov Yisrael, a 5-year-old. HaKadosh Baruch Hu should send him refuah shleimah min hashamayim, refuah hanefesh, refuah haguf, and be menachem the entire mishpacha. So honestly, I didn't have the presence of mind to organize my thoughts. So, nevertheless, I don't want to be mevatel, Talmud Torah the Rabbim. So this week we are learning Parshas Shekalim, which talks about the mitzvah of machzis hashekels. They yitnu kol ha'oiver al ha'pikudim. Machzis hashekel b'shekel hakodesh, esrim geiro hashekel. Machzis hashekel truma l'Hashem. L'chorah, since the shekel is esrim geiro, so the machzis hashekel is 10 geiro. It's the weight of 10 geiro. So why do we have to b'chlal talk about the shekel and say that you're giving half the weight of a shekel? We could have just said that everybody should give 10 geiro. And they had a matbeya that weighed 10 geira. They had such a coin, as it's mefurish in Parshas Pekudei, beka lagul goyles, machzis hashekel b'shekel hakodesh l'chol ha'over ha'pekudim. So the beka was machzis hashekel. So there's no need to talk about machzis hashekel. You could just say that they should give a beka, which is eser geira. In the Pirush HaRosh Al Torah, he says that shekel is b'gematria nefesh, which is 430. So there's meaning to the mention of the shekel, being that this nesina is lechaper al nafsho seichem. So the nefesh is represented somehow in the shekel that's being given. But lefi zeh we need to understand. So if it's the shekel that's b'gematria nefesh, everybody has his own nefesh, so he should be giving an entire shekel. So why is he giving a machzis hashekel? It must be that the message is that the nefesh reaches its shleimus only by attaching itself to another nefesh. Each person needs to see himself as only half a nefesh. Kishani la'atzmi mo'ani. So the shekel, which is miloshin mishkal, weight. When do I carry any weight? It's only if I'm part of a bigger picture. Only if I'm together with another nefesh. Who's that machzis hashekel? Obviously, that other machzis is the machzis that I am extending myself to, that I'm giving to, that I'm caring for. That's how I step out of my own selfish self, and that's how I acquire value. That's how I become worthy. I only become worthy when I attach myself to another machatzis. If I don't attach myself to another machatzis, I carry no weight. I carry no weight. So actually today, in the koilel, the olam is in trauma from this tragedy, and so I was talking about, so what should we be mischazik? People always ask. So being mischazik, is who knows what we should be mischazik. But what I'm thinking for myself at a time like this is that any one of us would be absolutely willing to do anything to bring back, to be mechayim mesim. I mean, those children that died, right? I mean, just to bring the matzav back to what it was. We no tirche would be too much. However, I mean, we can't, because mafteichos shel tchias amesim lo nimsiru bidei shliach. The Rebbeinu Shalom himself can do that. We can't do that, but nevertheless, we should know that we are not that limited. What do I mean to say? Rebitzela Volozhiner writes about his father, Reb Chaim Volozhiner. V'hoya ragil lohichiach oisi al shiro she'ineni mishtatef b'tzara da'achrina. He used to give me mussar that I'm not mishtatef in other people's pain. V'choy hoya dvoroi elai tomid. So he said to me all the time, Shezeh kol ha'adam. That's what makes a person a person. Sheloi la'atzmoi nivra. He wasn't created to be just himself. Rak lahoyil la'achrini. Just in order to help others. So we could be mechaye mesim, not clinically dead. But there are people that are clinically alive, but emotionally dead. I mean, everybody has opportunities to lift up the spirits of people we encounter. First of all, to notice that their spirits need to be uplifted, to notice that they're in pain. And that's something that we could help reverse. That is something that we could help change. So, Tchias HaMesim in the literal sense, we can't do. But Tchias HaMesim in this sense, like, Rabbi Yeruchim writes about the Alter from Kelim, that he was Mechaye Mesim b'Ma'amoroi. That with his words, he had the ability to be Mechayim Mesim, and each one of us has the ability to bring life to lifeless people, to young and old, people whose life is down and out. Lahachyois ruach shvolim, lahachyois leiv nitkoim. So we all have the capacity to be mishtatif b'tzara da'achrina, but sometimes it takes something so huge and dramatic to bring it out. But when that tchuna, when that midah, when that ability of lehishtatev b'tzara da'achrina, when we feel the pain of others, when that comes out, we should be mekayim achaztiv v'loi arpenu. We should hold on to it and not let go. Ad shehevesiv el beis imi ve'el cheder hoirosi. We should bring it into our life. We should make it a permanent fixture of our personality. We should develop the ability to be mishtatev b'tzara da'achrina, to care for others and do for others. And that's something that we can take away from a situation like this, that we are all, mishtatev b'tzara da'achrina. Actually, this week, my wife and family was sitting shiva for her father, for my shver, and it was amazing to see that, he was an 8th grade teacher in Highline in 1959, 60, 61. Now, people that were in his class that came from, Philadelphia and places like that said that the impact that he had on their life is everlasting. He actually, some people said he changed our life. So you see that we could make a difference, and the difference could be made if we care about other people. In other words, if we want to make a difference and we care about people and we become giving people, we can actually change people's lives for the better. And that is, as the Goyen writes in his letter of Nebeisai, V'zeh Roiv HaTorah, L'sameach L'odam. Now the Goyen was a big maven on Torah, and he knew Kol HaTorah Kula. And he says, Roiv HaTorah is L'sameach L'odam, to make other people happy. So this is something that we can take upon ourselves, and we can do. So, the Machzis HaShekel is the Yisoid for V'shochanti B'soicham. This is how we build the Mishkan, by donating the Machzis HaShekel. Because when a person steps out of himself, he reveals the Tzelem Elokim, which is HaKadosh Baruch Hu, who is Mechaya the world. Chafetz Chesed Hu. The Rebbeinu Shalom created the world with Chesed, Olam Chesed Yiboneh. And when a person steps out of himself and sees himself as a Machzis HaShekel, that his life only has meaning if he contributes to the other machzis, then he can become a klikibul for Ashras Ashkina, va'asuli mikdash, v'shachanti b'soicham. The hachana for Matan Torah was vayichan shom Yisrael neged ahor, ki ish echad b'leiv echad. Yom HaKippurim, which is the day of Matan Luchos Shniyos, we see as a Yom Simas Ava V'Reyos, Yom Azivas Kina V'Tacharus, because what makes us able to be Mekabel Torah is kindness, is the spirit of giving, the spirit of caring for others. You know, the Gemara says in Menachos, Daf Nun Gimel. Well, it says in Menachos, Daf Nun Gimel on the base. Yes, the Gemara that Yovoi Toiv v'yekabel Toiv mi Toiv leToivim. The Toiv should come, he should receive the Toiv from the Toiv for the Toivim. And the Gemara explains, Yovoi Toiv, who is that? Moshe Rabbeinu. Diksiv v'atera oisoi ki Toiv. V'yekabel Toiv zu Torah. Diksiv ki lekach Toiv nasati lochem. Mi Toiv, the HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Diksiv Toiv Hashem lakol. LaToivim, Elu Yisrael. Diksiv heitiva Hashem LaToivim. So you see that goodness, Toiv, is really the aside of Kabbalas HaTorah. How do we become able to be Mekabel the Torah? Only through being Toivim. And so also the Hachana for the Kimu v'Kiblu, Hodor Kiblu b'Yimei HaShvei Rosh, the Hachana for Kabbalas HaTorah and Purim is through the Hagdama of Parshas Shekalim, Again, because the way to receive Torah is through Machzis HaShekel. Vayovay Amalek vayilochem im Yisrael b'Refidim came as they were b'masa. They were wondering, Hayesh Hashem b'kirbeinu im oyin. Is Hashem amongst us, or is He not? And the truth is that the answer to that question is that it depends. If one is Makdim Shkolov Shikleim L'Shkolov, if one lives a life of Machzis HaShekel, so then he's Zoichet to V'osuli Mikdosh V'shachanti B'soicham. Then Yesh Hashem B'kirbeinu. But if one locks himself up into his own selfish self, and he doesn't step out of himself, and he doesn't reveal the Tzelem Elokim, then Chas V'Sholem Ein Hashem B'kirbeinu. You know, in this week's Parsha, there's the pasuk says Im Kesef Talves Ami. So we know that Rashi says already in Parshas Yisro, in Chof Beis, on the pasuk V'im Mizbach Avonim Taseli Lo Yisivne Etz Gozis. So Rashi says that all the ims in the Torah are a shus, besides for three. Im Mizbach Avonim Taseli is really a chiyuv, because it says Avonim Shleimo is Tivnes HaMizbeach. V'chein im Kesef Talve Choivahi Shenemar V'havei Ta'avitenu. V'chein im Minchas Bikurim Zu Minchas Omer Shei Choiva. So he says that these three ims are really a choiv. So the Maharal in the Gur Aryeh said, Yesh Lefarish Mashe Kosev Loshen Im Afagav the Choiveh. This really needs to be explained. If it's a choiva, so why does the Torah use the lashon of im? So he says, "Mipnei she'im yaseh michoiva." These three things, if you do it because you're obliged to do it, ki'ilu mekayim gzeiras hamelech, ein hadavar l'rotzin l'Hakadosh Baruch Hu. That's not l'rotzin l'Hakadosh Baruch Hu. V'tzarich sheyaseh mirtzoinoi. He has to do it because he wants to do it. He needs to do it because he wants to do it. V'oz kisheyaseh mirtzoinoi hu merotze. V'hamaisa shehu echreichi v'choiva Ein tzorich lahabit el shum tam, rak umekayim gzeres hamelech. Aber vim oise shloisha elu, hi ilu mekayim gzeres hamelech, ein zed dover. And he explains why by Mizbeach and Minchas Bikurim. But he says, what's negated to us right now, B'cheinim hilva kesef. If somebody lends somebody money, ki ilu mekayim gzeras hamelech, ein zed mitzvah. It's not a mitzvah. Ki tzorich sheyeh mitzvah salvo mirtzoynoi b'leiv toiv. K'diksiv, af benesina, v'lo yera levavcha. So he says the Torah Dafka writes im kesef talvesami because the Rebbeinu Shalom doesn't want us to lend money because it's a mitzvah. He says if you lend money because it's a mitzvah, it's not really a mitzvah. If he does it because it's a mitzvah, ain't a mitzvah. It's only a mitzvah if you do it as if there is no mitzvah. And that's why the Torah expresses this mitzvah in a lashon of reshus. So you see that the Torah Tchilasag Milos Chasadim, Seifag Milos Chasadim is really about shaping our personality and making us into better people, making us into people who care for others and do for others because we care about them and not because we care about mitzvahs. It's because we care about the person that we're helping. Yeah, I once had an experience as a bacher at Lakewood. I mean, I saw a guy was helping somebody with new bacher came to the yeshiva, and he was arranging for him a bed and a chavrusa. And I said to the guy, "Wow, you're really doing so much." So he said, "I did al chesed." So, in other words, he did it al chesed. He was megala that it was bechlal with an elul. Basically, he had like a quota of chesed that he needed to do. So this just fit into his list of chasadim. He was bechlal not thinking about helping the other human being. This is what the Maharal says. The Maharal says that when you're lending money, it's im kesef talves ami, that it should be done as if there was no mitzvah. The Rebbeinu Shalom wants you to care about somebody else and step out of yourself and do something for somebody else. So the Eibush is helping that we should be zoiche to internalize the message of machzis hashekel and know that we only have a mishkol, we only have a weight. Our life only has real meaning if we see ourselves as a machzis and care for the other machzis, and we should be zoiche to kimu v'kiblu haYehudim aleihem v'al zaram. We should be zoiche to be mekabel the Torah b'simcha. Rabbi say, a guten Shabbos.